Hello there, and welcome to this video recording. I'm going to do a presentation. I'm going to share with you some information about using LinkedIn, and especially how to use LinkedIn more effectively if you're a business owner. So I'll get started right away. There's actually more content than I can go through right now, but I want you to be aware of at least a few things. And if you review this video, picking it up from my YouTube channel or Facebook, I think you'll find strategies that you can take and use in LinkedIn right away, and use them to help grow an audience and connect with more people, which is in a lot of ways the kind of secret, if you will, of building a better business, is figuring out how to talk to more people and do it more consistently. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I'm Carl Shoemaker. I happen to be with Action Coach, business coach. I work here in New Jersey. Action Coach is the world's #1 business coaching firm, founded by Brad Sugars. Our vision is to create world abundance through business re-education. Everything that we do is about learning and helping people to achieve what they really want to achieve in their life. Chris Cook is the CEO and founder of Love for Marketing, sister company with Action Coach, has created a lot of opportunity for a lot of content, a lot of training, a lot of videos. If you contact me, I can talk to you about how we can make some of this available to you above and beyond this one, of course, which is about LinkedIn in particular. All right. Just for contacting me, obviously you're not attending, but there are several things that are really valuable gifts that we can offer to you, worth probably close to $900. First of all, we'll do a quick website audit, a health check for you if you have a website. If you don't, that's another question. You'll see how important that's going to be in a minute. I have a meeting with you, a virtual meeting on marketing strategies. Clearly, if you want to grow your business, you need a marketing plan, and you need to decide what strategies are the best for you. And then an e-learning course. One of our e-learning courses might take advantage, for example, of the LinkedIn course, which is probably 6 hours worth of video training that you can take on your own. It'll take what we're talking here to the next level. It's normally worth $300. If you contact me, I'll give you one of these learning courses. It doesn't have to be LinkedIn, but your interest seems to be in LinkedIn for watching this video, so that could be the one that you get, right? There are also courses in Facebook, Instagram, Google, CRM, which is customer relationship management, email marketing, a whole host of other courses that are available to you. You can purchase those if you choose, or you can just take me up on the free course and I'll send that to you. All right, so how do we help people? Well, as a business coach, I work with business owners to get results. In one word, it's to get results. From a social media marketing perspective, or marketing in general perspective, it's all about developing a strategy, getting some training and some learning on how to take your business and not to miss out on the opportunity to be involved in the digital world of SEO and SEM. All right, search engine optimization and search engine marketing. So how did you get here today? I'm going to guess that you found this on my Facebook page, you found it on a YouTube channel, or you found it somehow or other through Eventbrite or any other number of methodologies, perhaps even some of my shorter videos on LinkedIn. Okay, what's our most valuable asset? Well, you can make more money, but you can never make more time. So we want to use our time as wisely as possible. So let's just talk in general terms about overarching marketing strategies, and particularly about search engine optimization and search engine marketing. First thing you need to anchor all of this, to get your starting point, is to have a good website. Now, it doesn't have to be fancy, right? A one-page website would be absolutely better starting point than no website at all. It also has to be secure. Google does not like um, websites that don't have security certificates, right? It also needs to be fast. No one has patience today for waiting for websites. So better that it's secure and fast than it's really fancy and complicated. It also clearly has to be mobile friendly in today's environment. People are using their smartphones for virtually everything. And while a website might be easier to use and have more functionality if you're using it from a PC, people are on their phones all the time and they're conducting an awful lot of business from a phone. All right. So there's your website that anchors everything. Then you've got to get into SEO, search engine optimization. So that's really important for when people are out there looking for you. You've got to analyze your keywords. What are people looking for? So if they were going to go on Google to look for a product or service, this is where a lot of people start out, right? Are you showing up? Are you mentioning all the keywords and all your marketing that people are looking for? Think the way they think, not the way you think. So if your business, your industry has a certain kind of language or lingo, if it's not commonly known and that's not what people are searching for, well, then you need to adjust to take that into account. You want to get your page rankings as high as you can, right? And you also want to have dedicated pages. Google ads, remember, instant keyword analysis for ads. Google ads tend to be text-based, but don't neglect video. I want to say that. And they can help you generate instant leads. Again, for people looking for you, right? That keyword analysis and leads, that's the benefits you get out of having SEO. Facebook, next level down, right? Now, this can be more about you looking to build an audience, demonstrating your expertise. Where do you stand? What do you do? So you can find the people instead of waiting for them to find you, right? You get ads that go into people's feeds. If they like your page, if they're following you, guess what? They can see content that you put out there. And there are ways that you can measure these against Google. But in the scheme of things, you really need to follow this path, right? Don't try to skip a step, if you will. Right? So again, we are going to be talking about LinkedIn, but we've taken a look back to make sure that we anchor all this journey properly, right? Now you're going to talk about your social accounts. What are your social accounts? Kind of everything else, right? Your individual databases, which can be very powerful where you start building a list of targeted fans, people who, on Instagram or your Facebook or in a group, a Facebook group, a LinkedIn group. This is where you can really get some leverage out of your content. So you can create articles or posts and put information out there and put ads out for people or boost a post. Kind of a whole lot of different methodologies you can use. Closed groups, great way to manage things like VIP customers or VIP clients, right? And offer high value to people. You can have more than one group, all right? CRM, customer relationship management software. You can use lots of different platforms. There are lots of ways to do this. We have training courses on how to use the CRM to better advantage. One of the things I find in working with clients that is all too often neglected, what they tend to do, clients, is they tend to not speak as often as they should to past clients or past prospects. And I've had multiple occasions where in really getting clients to go back and talk to people they did estimates for or proposals for in the past, the deals came back to being real live deals again and became actual business because they didn't assume that that client or prospect was gone forever, right? So you have to plan your campaigns. You don't want to burden people with too much. You don't want to overshare, but you definitely want to target your leads and talk to them, right? That also leads us to email, right? Where you can do things like offering people specials. Action coach, business coaches really don't like discounts, but we certainly love promotional offers, right? We love things that are real call to action, that encourage people to get up off the couch and connect with you. Newsletters might offer them great information that they really need to know and things that they can maybe you're the perfect expert to talk to that can help them with that. And in the current environment we're in right now, where we're in the beginning, opening up after COVID-19 phase that we're all been worried about, business owners are worried about, well, I got my PPP money, or I didn't get it, or I got it, but now I have to apply for forgiveness for all or part of it, and what do I do, and who do I talk to? So if you're a CPA, guess what? People are looking for information. If you offer that to them, if you can help them with planning, or applying for that, payroll companies are providing a lot of information to people to help them. Perfect. Those are the kind of things that you can talk to people about. And of course, letting people know about your brand, right? Who are you? So all social media, LinkedIn especially, or LinkedIn included, is getting bigger. It's only getting bigger. If anybody a few years ago said to you, the internet is just a fad, or social media is just a fad, these platforms are not going to last. Well, at least so far, they've been proven wrong, right? So LinkedIn, of course, getting bigger and bigger. And actually now it's probably closer, not 460 million users, but closer to 600 million. From starting out in 2009 with something around 37 million. That's incredible growth. That's just phenomenal. LinkedIn also started out in a lot of ways as a kind of online resume, job search, networking platform. And it's really evolved into so much more than that, right? One of the things that's really incredible about LinkedIn is not just the number of people or the incredible growth of the number of members, but the number of decision makers who are out there, right? The percentage of decision makers on LinkedIn as a percentage of the total is the highest, right? It's really important, if you're trying to get to talk to decision makers, to be involved in this platform, right? So, when talking to business owners who are trying to, conduct business, this is a great way to get relationships started, and especially the relationships started with people who really make decisions around their industry, right? This is a social media. I love this picture. It's actually, two pictures taken in exactly the same spot, 8 years apart, 2005 and then 2013. And the most obvious thing that, of course, jumps out at you is the number of smartphones or devices that you see in these pictures, where people are capturing content and broadcasting it, possibly live or recording it. But it's the installation of two different popes outside the Vatican in 2005 and 2013. And look at the difference that 8 years have made in how many people are connected and the type of devices that they're using. So if somebody told you in 2005 that, smartphones were just a fad, or social media was just a fad, guess what? 8 years have proven them to be not so accurate, right? Not quite the prediction that people were expecting. Think about all the social media platforms, or at least the main ones, for a couple of minutes. Google founded in 1998, right? There are 3.5 billion searches done every day. You need to be in that game if you want to get page one rankings. And getting page one rankings organically is really, harder and harder, because back then the page one was almost all organic search with a small amount of paid ads. Now it's almost all paid ads with a small amount of organic search. But people will scroll down to maybe the second page. Again, it's a game you have to be in if you want to win. If you're not in it, you have no chance, right? And 98% of Google searches are really done locally. So geography is really important. LinkedIn, over 300 million users are active every month, right? 45% of LinkedIn users earn in that 50, 60,000, 70,000 range. Right? LinkedIn is home to over 30 million companies, right? So a lot of companies have company pages. Facebook, founded in 2004, 2.5 billion active users, right? Difference between LinkedIn and Facebook: Facebook users tend to be active kind of almost every day, whereas LinkedIn users tend to more judicious in their use of it, tend to be on every week, not necessarily every day. There are over 1.5 billion logins on Facebook, and almost 5 billion pieces of content are shared every day. not all of that content is necessarily important. And think about how hard it is to stand out with that much daily content, compared to if you really have a message you want to try to use LinkedIn rather than Facebook to try to talk to somebody, especially a decision maker. Again, a really important reason why you might want to use that, right? Twitter. Very fast messaging, short messaging. Some people love it, some people hate it. 330 million active users monthly. 60+% of Twitter users are in that 35 to 65 year range. 2/3 of them, 2/3 of B2B businesses are using Twitter. They're using Twitter as a kind of quick response, right? And partly they have to respond if somebody tweets something out about their company. They want to be able to see it and respond quickly to that. And it's also a very interesting methodology for businesses to kind of take a jab at one another too. Instagram, incredible billion monthly active users. Instagram is owned by Facebook. Great leverage opportunity, because if you post a lot of content on Facebook, you can send it immediately over to Instagram. It tends to skew a little bit younger than Facebook. Many accounts on Instagram follow businesses, right? And a lot of stories, obviously, that get shared are shared about businesses. TikTok, again, most downloaded app on the Apple Store today. 1 billion video views, virtually. It's incredible every day. So in terms of accounts, let's just talk about LinkedIn. You can all have a free account. Everybody can have a free account. What do you get? Doesn't cost you anything. You have a profile. You see who viewed your profile, and you see only the last 5 views. That's what you get to see. You don't get to browse as much as you might want to. You can step up to a premium career, which, again, the pricing varies depending on where you are located in the world. You see views over the last 90 days, and you get in-mail credits, ways that you can talk with an in-mail to somebody in the network who you may or may not be connected with, right? And you get access to the LinkedIn Learning Center. You can step up to a premium business account. Again, the price goes up. You get to see the profile views. You get more in-mail credits, so you can speak to people up to 15 a month. So think about that for a minute. If you could use LinkedIn to find the 15 business owners or businesses that you really like to talk to every month, you could create a message and speak to them directly, right? Get unlimited browsing to find leads and connections up to the third level connections, right? And you get access to business insights. And of course, you still get access to the Learning Center, right? Then you can go into Sales Navigator, which again steps up in price. Good thing about Sales Navigator, well, a lot of good things about Sales Navigator. You get a lot more access. You get a lot more functionality. You get more views. You get to see who's seeing your profile. You get to browse further. You get business insights. Sales Navigator also lets you build lead lists. You can find companies, identify companies you want to talk to, build leads. They'll recommend leads to you, right? You can save those leads for the future use, and you can add notes on them. You can also download those lead lists, right? And you can use it as well for candidate tracking. Of course, you can post jobs on LinkedIn as well, right? Recruiters use LinkedIn a lot, and there's another, I'm not really talking about this from a recruiting perspective, but there's a recruiter light version, so you can step up and use that as well. Job search people do this all the time. They spend all their time on it because they're basically looking for candidates and positions to fill, right? So lots of functionality. I use Sales Navigator. A good thing about Sales Navigator, you can have a premium business account, and you can turn on Sales Navigator. You can use it to build up some lead lists. You pay the monthly fee while you're using it. You can turn it on. You can turn it off. You can go back to it. All right, so let's dig in a little bit further and start looking at, search a little bit. There's functionality where you can search. You can search for people. You can search for businesses. right? You can search by geography, you can search connections, and you can connect with people or you can message them. If you're connected with them, you can send messages to them. If you're not connected with them, you can ask them to connect. If you're using Sales Navigator, you get a whole lot more functionality, right? You're able to do more involved searches and get access to more people, right? Another one of the major advantages of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And by the way, Sales Navigator, you find access to that right here, and this where you see these 9 dots together. All the different programs that you have access to are right up in here. All right, so then you can sign on to Sales Navigator and try it out. And using it to do things like building lead lists, finding companies you really like to talk to, using geography, the company size, who you know or who you can get introduced to, all those things are important. So I'm going to talk about workbook task number 1. In this video, I'm going to go through workbook task number 1, and as far as workbook task number 2, if you're just watching this video, you don't have these workbooks, but if you just email me or send a message back through to me from Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever, Carl Shoemaker at actioncoach.com, I will email you the PDF of this workbook. I may even just put a link to it. That might be even easier. More than happy to have any of you who want to see this have it. But first thing you've got to do is narrow down your target market, right? There are lots of options in that workbook. You have all the different ways you can identify your target market. So think about them. The more you zero in, the more you can identify who you really want to talk to, the more time efficient you can be. Certainly you don't want to waste your time looking to build connections with people who are not within your target market, that don't need or want your product or your service. And that has everything to do with where are they located, what type of business are they, how big a business are they, what kind of, what are they involved in, right? From a business coach perspective, when I'm talking to clients, they typically would say to me, if I say, what kind of clients you want, they say anybody, everybody. So everybody who and anybody who is way too broad, right? It really doesn't help your focus. It really doesn't help you zero in. And it dilutes and distorts your effort. You really want to figure out, who are the people who really benefit most from what I do? And if I find them, even if they're in a lot of different industries, you find them, you spend your time much more efficiently. And of course, you're marketing money more efficiently, because from a coaching perspective, a couple of things that I'm really going to focus on with clients are, what is your cost to acquire a new client, customer, or patient, whatever you call them? What's your acquisition cost? And then what's your lifetime value? So just to throw an example out there, if you have to spend $1,000 to get a new client, and the profit on that new client that you acquire, right, is more than $1,000, then it makes sense. I'm talking about the profit now. Then your investment is giving you an immediate return, an immediate payback. If those numbers are upside down, then you need working on reducing your marketing cost or increasing the lifetime value. Okay? So what's the true reach of your LinkedIn network? The first key performance indicator, and maybe the first piece of homework you ought to do, if you have a good, strong LinkedIn profile, great, that's a good starting point. How many connections do you have? So look at your profile to see how many connections you have. Whatever number that is now, you want to grow that, right? Of course, people will try to connect with you. If they're going to try to sell you something, then they will love to connect with you and they will ask you to connect. But you want to be talking to people whom you can help, who you want to do business with. And then the strength of that is not just the number of people you know, but the people that they know, so they can be added to your network, right? That's the kind of geometric progression of growth of LinkedIn. Right. When you're asking somebody to connect, you've got the standard message that you can send them, which is pretty much, I want to connect with you, I'd like to add you to my LinkedIn network. You really should personalize that. You really should say, I enjoyed your work on whatever platform, and I really have followed your blog, or I've seen your company. I understand what you do. I really like to see. I think your company's does a phenomenal job. I'd love to connect. I'd like to add you to my LinkedIn network. The other thing that I kind of like to do whenever possible is I like to offer people the opportunity to say, gee, if you see somebody in my network that you'd like an introduction to, I'd love to introduce you. Let me know. Anything you can do to get a conversation started, right? So that's about adding connections. Now let's talk about your profile. Your profile is essentially that kind of billboard of your LinkedIn page that tells people who you are and tells people what you do. And more than a third of connections, referrals to an external website through LinkedIn come from a good, strong profile, right? Also very helpful to have a company page and or a group. Having a dedicated group is a great way for you to put people in who have shared common interests, enable them to share with one another, build a group that you can use to give information to people and keep them, start to build a kind of community, right? But of course, don't neglect that profile. So what does the profile look like? Well, here's what it could look like, right? A lot of times you'll see people's profile and all they have is that kind of star field with those blue and some stars and some stripe. They haven't added anything in their profile. They don't have a great headshot. They certainly should. They should have a good banner, which has got to be high resolution. And they really want to fill it out with all of the information. LinkedIn does a good job of giving you, kind of information about what to do and how to do it and give you a score on how good your profile is, right? So you want that profile strength to be really strong, advanced at least. And then you've got to be talking about and looking into keywords. Let's take you back for a second to one of those earlier slides where we talked about the the website. All of these things, if they link together, which they should, they can, the common theme is, remember, Google is searching all over, including your profiles, like your LinkedIn profile page. And they're looking for, in Google, their AdWords, here, their keywords. They're looking for things that people are looking for, right? They're looking for new content, fresh content. They're looking for a secure website. They're looking for a complete profile. All of the things that help you get further up in the SEO rankings, these are just some of them. So those keywords are really important to have all over your profile page. So here we go, workbook task number 2. Make a list of 5 important keywords for your potential audience. What might they be searching for? And again, don't think about the lingo that you guys might use in your own business. Think about if somebody were to go sit down at their computer or grab their phone and say, gee, I want to find a dentist. Might be easy, but where, right? So you figure out ways that you can impart to them the things that they're looking for, right? If they're looking for a landscaper, but maybe in looking for a landscaper, they're not just looking for a landscaper, maybe they want a patio, right? Maybe they want an outdoor kitchen. Maybe they want to go out to have dinner, but they want a very specific type of meal. Maybe they're looking for a mortgage, right? But whatever it is they're looking for that you provide, think about the way they search for it and make sure your keywords reflect that, okay? So remember, that's your first chance, your profile page. It's that first impression that you make. You really want it to be professional, high resolution, relevant, and informative. Here's what a profile page really looks like. If it's informative, a great headshot, a banner, a call to action, including, in this case, the phone number, right? Don't make it hard for people to find you. Make it as easy as possible. Make it easier for them to connect with you, right? Demonstrate your professional accomplishments, demonstrate your, people love to connect with people they went to school with or they know of, they know the school. put those details out there to make it as easy as possible for people to connect with you. And don't forget, this banner is a great way to be branding yourself, right? And call to action are really critical. It's important that you put things out there for people to demonstrate why and what they get out of talking to you or communicating with you. All right. Here's another one. Again, great headshot, action looking picture, a good smile, contact information. If you have a good photo, you're going to be at least 7 times more likely to have your profile viewed, right? Should be a professional image. And it's really important that people viewing your website, have a point of contact. I'm going to kind of leave you with this thought, right? This is a great way to start putting yourself out there, getting some information, but you're really not trying. You really want, my humble opinion, while you're connecting with people, you want a call to action, give them a reason to contact you, get something for free, download a book, download a white paper, download something that benefits them in their life, and then make it easy for them to connect up with you, right? And while it's a great communication tool, the faster you can take that communication level up to another level, like directly emailing them or directly calling them or having them call you, the better off you are. Communicating back and forth inside of any social media platform, sure, you can do it. It's just not as effective as someday we'll get back to face-to-face meetings, but it's also not as effective as being able to talk to people directly and especially one-on-one. So that's a starting point for how you can use LinkedIn. There's a bunch of homework. If you just watch this video, Carl Shoemaker at Action Coach. When I post this, I'll put contact information in the video, in the heading for it. Reach out, send me an email, a message, call. I'll put the phone number as well. I will send you a PDF of the little workbook, which has several sections. And if you contact me for that and you want, I will send you one free video course that you can utilize. Go on video at your own pace, at your own time, and learn how to take this a whole lot further with a lot more detail. Carl Shoemaker with Action Coach. Thank you very much, and stay safe out there.